Hari Om. Let us reflect upon the Mahabharat. Welcome back. We are reflecting on the post-war scenarios. And we are seeing how the Dharma rule is established for which Lord Krishna had taken the birth. So let us prepare ourselves by sitting straight. Head, neck, backbone straight. This is the position where maximum energy flow happens. Let us withdraw our mind from all that has happened in the past, future anxieties, present tensions and confusions. Let us focus on our breath, always in the present moment, always fresh, always available for contemplation. Purification and concentration of mind happens when the mind focuses on the breath. A still body, cheerful mind, and clear intellect. Purity and clarity of mind. That is what we have to strive through every action, through every role, what we do. Let us invoke God's grace and Guru Parampara's blessing, without which nothing can happen. We will see in today's story this particular sentence, what it means. And this we do by chanting loudly together. Om. 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 Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
गजाननं भूतगणादिसेवितं कपित्थजम्बू फलसारभक्षितम् उमासुतं शोकविनाशकारणं नमामि विघ्नेश्वर पादपङ्कजम् सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। स्थावरं जङ्गमं व्याप्तं यत्किञ्चित् सचराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। चिन्मयं व्यापि यत्सर्वं त्रैलोक्यं सचराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। श्रीवेदव्यासाय नमः। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। हरि ओम।
Hari Om. Thank you, Manisha. So we are doing Itihas, studying the Itihas as we studied in our school. And this is our Itihas, which are mentioned in our Shastra, two scriptures, two texts, that is Ramayana and Mahabharat. So we are studying the Mahabharat, our glorious past of our nation called as Bharat, and the lineage and greatness of various kings. And we are on the post scenario of the war, where out of 47 lakhs, 11 people survived. Yudhishthir got depressed, and with lot of counseling, coaching from Lord Krishna, Ved Vyasji, and after hearing Raj Dharma from Bhishma, Pitamaha, Yudhishthir agrees to become the king of Hastinapur. That is the difference between Yudhishthir and Duryodhan. Here there is no greed, no attachment. And as per guidance of Ved Vyasji, we saw that he goes to all provinces, counsels the women folk who are alone, establishes the ideal son or daughter, gives them the peace and prosperity and protection. And also, as per suggestion of Ved Vyasji, does the Ashwamedh Yajna. So, the geopolitics, we can see at one side, Dwarka, Drupad's Panchala is there, and Hastinapur becomes the universal, or in that region, the complete power which creates peace, prosperity, where we saw Arjun going with his army and along with the horse. Some of the kingdoms like Trigartha, Mlicha, which are Pakistan, China, they object, they have a war. Arjun defeats and comes back. And 36 years Pandavas rule. So there is no mention of any war in Mahabharat or any episode. 36 years of establishment of golden period, dharma, artha, kama, prosperity, peace, power. All three are there. Wherever prosperity is there with adharma, then there is a problem. So prosperity, peace, power with dharma prevails. And then we shifted attention to Dwarka. Simultaneously, what happened in Dwarka? There also peace, prosperity, time for 30-35 years, and then there is a civil war where they break the rules of alcohol ban and they go for a picnic in Dwarka beach. And there is a civil war between various clans of Yadavas, and the entire Yadava lineage is destroyed. When Balram comes to know this, he walks out of Dwarka, goes in the forest and gives up his body in meditation. Krishna goes in search of him and sees Balram has given up the body, realizes that time is up, tired, rests under a tree, and very quietly, no drama, he is a lord of lords, but goes away from the kingdom. That is a very important point. Dies alone. No attachment. So in our Shastra, it is recommended that we must die alone, because with people, their attachment is there and our attachment also is there. Especially away from people or places or situations or objects where we can get attached, then it is a smooth passage. And then Arjun, who has been informed by Lord Krishna through Daruk that he should come, Arjun comes and sees the entire Dwarka, hardly anybody is there except some women folk, Krishna's wife, some small children, some old people. He does the last rites of Balram and Arjun and takes the remaining folk who are there in Dwarka as per Krishna's advice. So suppose we take the distance, Hastinapur, that is Delhi and Dwarka, they would have traveled 7 to 8 days. So Arjun when starts from Dwarka and just comes out of the gate of the Dwarka, sees that the entire Dwarka is engulfed by the ocean, by the waves, and Dwarka is still there under the sea. Suppose those who have gone to Dwarka, they are told, and currently I heard there are boats or submarines they are planning where we can go inside and see. So Arjuna passing through the forest, 1 or 2 days pass, and very interesting, important episode happens in Arjun's life. In the evening, on the second night, they are camping. Arjun is there with his chariot, some army warriors with him, and the remaining folk of Dwarka who are there along with him. They reach Panchanad, that is a place they camp at night. It's near a forest. And in that forest, there lives one Abhira community, dacoits, forest people. They are not knowing who is what. They just see some women and some small few camps of warriors and then see some children, old people. They think that is the best community to rob. So only few of them come and there is a fight, small fight happens between Arjun, some warriors and his Abhira community who are robbers. They would have come with some kind of swords or maybe 1 or 2 horses and some, wooden sticks. But interestingly, Arjun gets defeated second time in life. First time Arjun has got defeated through his own son, where he was very happy. Babruvahan, we saw. But this is the first defeat of Arjun before only few people. He is not able to take out arrows and put on the Gandhi. The speed is very low. He tries to recollect the celestial weapons, mantras, he is not able to recollect. It is a high moment of embarrassment for a warrior who cannot protect some women, some children. He has done the Ashwamedh Yajna. We have to just go there and go with Arjun and see what he would have gone through. It is a great awakening for Arjun as a warrior and awakening of a sadhak, that what is happening. The dacoits loot away whatever gold or whatever jewelry they are carrying, take away some women and children with them, and Arjuna remains there defeated, helpless. First time in life he feels helpless without Krishna there. We have to imagine a helpless Arjun standing and watching that some of the few dacoits who are there who take away, and he cannot do anything. So Arjun slowly brings back depressed. The balanced folks in Hastinapur, settles them slowly, securely. Very interestingly, importantly, Krishna's grandson Vajra, whom we had discussed in the last episode, that how many problems Krishna had, family problems, personal problem, national problem, international problems. His own sons married with their own will and created problems. People think, no, children today are not listening. That time itself, Krishna has told, look, my children also didn't listen to me. Grandson also didn't listen to me. He was living in living relationship with one Rakshasi. Their son Vajra is very important because he is the only lineage left of Yadavas. Otherwise, Yadava Kul would have been destroyed. But today we can see there are so many Yadavas playing in Indian cricket team also. Umesh Yadav, Surya Kumar Yadav. So Vajra is crowned as the king of Indraprastha, very importantly. So that Yadava Kul continues. All these things he does as his duty, but his brothers and Draupadi are watching him since he has come back. They do not know till now what has happened. So they find that Arjun is disturbed, exhausted, pale, mentally shattered, spiritually empty. And then the Pandavas gather. Yudhishthir asks him, this is a very touching, moving dialogue in the Mahabharat. Very important dialogue, but very touching, very moving. Yudhishthira asks him 4 questions. Why are you like this? What happened to you? Has someone insulted you? Number 1 question. Were you defeated in a battle? Did you fail to protect someone seeking refuge? Has some great calamity occurred? 4 questions asked by Yudhishthir. Because they are watching for a couple of days Arjun's state, who has returned from Dwarka. Actually, they were expecting that Arjun will be coming back more cheerful, more energetic, more spiritually inclined, meeting Lord Krishna. Then Arjun narrates the destruction of the Yadavas, Krishna's departure from the world, Balram's exit, the submergence of Dwarka, and his own loss of divine power, and Arjun confesses, which is a very moving dialogue in Mahabharat. Arjun says, which is a very interesting dialogue, that the same Gandiv bow, the same arrows, the same chariot, the same horses, the same Arjuna, yet without Krishna all became powerless. We have to also ask one question, this is a very important question. Just think for a moment today that how you were born, went to school, went to college, got married, 2 children, travel with various countries, had n number of experiences, and now one thinks that one can advise the entire world with children, grandchildren, that I am the best advisor who knows everything. Just think that without this knowledge of Vedanta, what would have been my life? My life minus this spiritual Vedantic knowledge, which I have been, listening, hearing for maybe 5 years, 10 years, 1 year, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Remove all that knowledge and my life, suppose I have to look at how it would have been powerless. Many people have written what is the transformation with this knowledge. Just imagine where we would have been without this knowledge. Ahara, Nidra, Bhaya, Maithuna. Only four things an animal does which are common with human being. Only food. Today also, people think about food only 60% of the time. Nidra, sleep, especially with senior citizens, sleep is a big problem. Bhaya, fear, what will happen after me to the house, to relationship, to my family, to me. And Maithuna, pleasure, still want to see something, still want to experience something, still want to have some pleasures. So these are same with animals. And with this knowledge only a human being is different and transforms himself and evolves from the animal perspective. So Arjun's confession is very important. The same Gandiv, same arrows, same chariot, same horses, same mantras. When I was fighting with in Ashwamedh Yajna with so many provinces in Mahabharat war, before that also I fought wars. And just imagine for Arjun, whose entire life has to become gone into becoming the best archer, collecting celestial weapons from various goddesses, and now he feels powerless. So he approaches Ved Vyasji and asks him and tells him that this is what has happened now, what is to be done. Ved Vyasji tells him Krishna's mission on earth is complete. The reason why I had taken avatar is complete. And then he says that Pandava's work is also complete. Now that also is one learning for us. That's the reason this episode is very interesting. We don't feel only that my work is complete. Work still goes on. Still there is attachment. And that's the reason the last episode of Mahabharat is very fascinating. And which is called as Swargarohan. That we will see. Very interesting episode it is. And then there is a dialogue. There is a small discourse with Ved Vyasji gives that time spares no one. Even mighty heroes cannot resist Kala, that is time. Time gives power, prosperity, and time takes away also. No one can rise above time. So many people have lived on this planet, and so many people will live on this planet called as Earth, which is there for 4.5 billion years rotating without any support. And still I feel that no, my life is very specific and significance. Like one wave or a bubble rises from the ocean. For sometimes it thinks it is separate and has an individual identity and then dissolves in the ocean. So when the wave dissolves in the ocean, there is a very important question. Who says Aham Brahmasmi? The wave cannot say Aham Brahmasmi because Aham has dissolved. The ocean cannot say Aham Brahmasmi because the ocean is Brahman only. So very interestingly, time takes away everything. And we must respect time. Yudhishthir understands because Arjun shares, and then the brothers and Draupadi sits together. This is what Ved Vyasji has told. Yudhishthir understands the era of Pandavas is over. It is time to hand over. Very interestingly, importantly, Draupadi, Nakul, Sahadev, Bhim doesn't say anything. No, I want to still rule for 6 years more, 5 years. I want to see this, do here, that. They keep quiet. As Yudhishthir says, Ved Vyasji has already advised. They decide together, sitting one day evening, to renounce the kingdom. who will be the next lineage, because they cannot leave Hastinapur. Parikshit will be crowned as a king, they decide. Then Yudhishthir guides Parikshit on Raja Dharma, and very interesting, important dialogue of Yudhishthir to Subhadra, that you take care of Parikshit, protect the Kuru line, and the third important is that support Vajra, who is Krishna's descendant, whom they have crowned as king of Indraprastha, because that they, from there the lineage of Yadavas will continue. And then they decide for Mahaprasthana, it is called in Mahabharat, the great departure. They declare. The Praja is unhappy. There are a lot of dialogues. Praja becomes sad. 50 years before, Pandavas and Draupadi had left Hastinapur, giving up all luxuries of royal life to spend 13 years in forest. Now again, they leave together, leaving everything behind. Very interesting. This time of their own decision, volition, and with a decision never to come back. And very interestingly, importantly, they not even look back at Hastinapur when they leave Hastinapur. Very important point to note. They don't have any discussion looking back, oh, what happened, nice Hastinapur, at least something, we will go there and have at least one samosa and come back. Some rasgulla, something we will eat. They never even look back, for which they fought the war, which they ruled for 36 years. And that is a very, very interesting journey, which is called as Swargarohan. The Mahaprasthana. Swargarohan is a very interesting journey of Pandavas. And there is those who want to actually experience it. We saw when we went to Kedarnath, Badrinath, suppose you go that side, you will find lot of temples right from Haridwar to Rishikesh, where they say here where Pandavas came. So they started from Hastinapur, which is Delhi, and we can track them to Mana village. There is a Mana village, which is the last village or the border village of India, Bharat, from where Saraswati river comes, where Ved Vyasji's Gufa is there, Ganeshji's Gufa is there, where, initially I thought they were sitting in one cave, but there are two caves. Ved Vyasji's cave is on the top, and then down there is Ganeshji's cave, and before Ganeshji's cave, the Saraswati river, it seems, was flowing very, very rapidly, and then Ganeshji was not able to hear a lot of noise, so he told Saraswati to go inside. So there Saraswati river has gone inside. So those who are planning and still want to go to Badrinath, they can see en route lot of destinations where there are temples. In one of the temple where we had gone, where Arjun had stayed, a lot of Shivalingas. They say there are 100, 200 Shivalingas inside. So many have come up and they have dug up, excavation has been done. And we can feel the presence there, in especially Ved Vyasji Guha, Ganesh Guha, where Pandavas had stayed, especially in Kedarnath, Badrinath. The route is there, Haridwar to Badrinath, that route. And then there is a Swarga Dwar, where there is a, door constructed recently to symbolize from here Pandavas went for Swargarohan. Rohini Parvat they went. And a small trek is there. Beyond that, then we cannot go. So we will come back to the Swargarohan later on. But let us complete what happened in Hastinapur, because in the Mahabharat, completion happens with Swargarohan. So we will come back to Swargarohan journey of Pandavas after this discussion. So the Pandavas installed, crowned, son of Abhimanyu and Uttara, Parikshit is crowned the king. Parikshit becomes able, just, popular, dharmic leader, the king. And as our Mahabharat stories or ancient stories happen, one day he goes on hunting alone. So you see, there are a lot of kings who have gone for hunting and then they have found some girl, they got married, and then, or somewhere something has happened. So a lot of history happens in the hunting places. So he's after one animal, a deer, and the deer suddenly vanishes out of his sight. He loses his way, gets exhausted, and or he's maybe hunting a tiger or lion. He reaches Rishi Shamik's ashram and he want to have some water. He want to ask where I can go in search of this animal, where is hunting for, whom is hunting for. But the Rishi is in Samadhi. Rishi Shamik is in Samadhi, in silence, closed eyes. He waits for some time, feels neglected, gets angry that I am a king, takes a dead snake by the arrow and puts in his neck, and then walks off his ashram. A spurt of anger. Kali Yuga has already started. So this is how they say that, a noble, just king, in that small spurt of anger, one can do wrong things. One can repent also. His son, Rishi Shringi, comes back. He had gone for asking bhiksha, and he sees that there is a dead snake in his father's neck, and father is in samadhi, still in samadhi, meditating. So they are all very powerful rishis. He understands that somebody has done some mischief, and he declares a curse that whoever has insulted my father by putting a dead snake around his neck will be bitten by Naga Takshaka in 7 days. So this curse reaches Hastinapur. Parikshit comes to know. Now, very important point here. The general understanding what is shown or what is there is that Parikshit gives up everything and food, water, and then takes sannyas and then invites Shukdev ji for Bhagavad Purana, and then he listens to Bhagavad Purana for 7 days and then gives up his body. That is not there in Mahabharat, any of the version. So Parikshit is a king. So this episode of Bhagavad comes from Bhagavad Purana. This episode is not there in Mahabharat. What Parikshit does is a very detailed safety precaution which is given in Mahabharat. He changes his residence, specifically goes in a residence where there is no even entry of a small hole. He specifically surrounds himself by lots of guards in circular motion, where one, as there is a chakra view, the number of guards are increased. Physicians are kept, snake experts are kept, protective measures are taken against poison. He takes medicine so that if it happens, I will be saved. The king tries to defeat destiny through vigilance, which is not possible. So Naga Takshaka passes all security arrangements which are not even Z plus security today is there, The ministers and the presidents of the country get Z plus security. This is Z raised to 100 security. The Naga Takshaka passes. And how he enters? Because the king has to eat. So the Naga Takshaka enters an apple and becomes a small worm. And when that apple is cut by the king, he finds one small worm. And that suddenly the king says that there is a worm in this, you should have taken care of. And the worm suddenly becomes the Naga Takshaka, huge serpent, and bites Parikshit, and Parikshit is dead with that deadly poison. They say the cobra poison is so powerful, it only gives us 7 to 10 minutes, not more. So that's how Parikshit's death happens. Now who will be the king? Janmejay, his son, is made the king of Hastinapur. Janmejay also is a very powerful, just, but he's very young, powerful, noble, dharmic king, and then he rules for many, many years. One day when Janmejay is a king, Rishi Uttank visits Hastinapur. Lot of rishis and munis used to come to Hastinapur and says this Naga Takshaka has become a big nuisance. He's harassing innocent people. And you remember your father was killed by this Naga Takshaka, and this entire community of Nagas and Sarpas are creating a nuisance, harassing innocent people. So you please take revenge of this Naga Takshaka of your father's killing. So how to do that? So this idea is suggested to Janmejay that you do Sarpa Satra. Sarpa Satra is a very big yajna, very specific yajna. There are various yajnas are mentioned in our Vedic period for getting to Swarga, for getting children, for getting prosperity. This Sarpa Satra is a very unique ritual sacrifice. And Janmejay decides that I will do this, and this is, if he does this, then it is going to eliminate all Nagas from earth. So he plans for this huge Sarpa Satra Yajna. Who's who in the Bharatvarsha comes, because it's not very easy to do this Sarpa Yajna. It is a huge ritual. To watch also people come, because there are a lot of chanters, specific chanters required, lot of Rishi Munis required. Ved Vyasji also comes in this Sarpa Yajna. And the Sarpa Yajna starts, and they see lot of destruction of Sarpas happening. Fortunately, Astika, the nephew of Vasuki, Naga, comes and sings glories of Janmejay. Janmejay becomes very happy. He says, who are you? I ask any boon the way you have, glorified me. The king used to give necklace or, a lot of things. So Astika, the nephew of Vasuki, says, you please stop this Sarpa Satra. That is a boon you give me. Otherwise, all Sarpas will be destroyed. And it will be not good for this planet. Vedvyaji also nods, and then Sarpa Satra is stopped. Why this importance of this Sarpa Satra Yajna is there? Because this is a time the entire who's who, the Bharat is watching. They have come to Hastinapur. So because Vedvyaji is there, Janmejay asks him that, request him that, can you narrate to me, I know only my father Parikshit, who was killed by Naga Takshaka, but I have heard my father's father Abhimanyu, his father Arjun, and all the Pandavas and his glorious, my lineage and ancestors. I want to listen to their stories, their greatness. So why this Sarpa Sajna is important? Because there's a lot of crowd who has come there. And Vedvyaji says that my Shishya Vaishampayan will narrate the story of your ancestor, the great ancestors, the Pandavas, and the Kuru dynasty. And then Vaishampayan Rishi narrates to Janmejay Mahabharat. First time a public gathering hears the entire story of Mahabharat. First time. So in that public, there is one Ugra Shrava Rishi is there. He also hears and listens, everyone forgets time. Today also we see when we listen to Mahabharata and Ramayana, still so much of engrossment happens, enchantment is there in that particular story or itihas. So everyone is so happy listening to Vaishampayan's narration. Ugrashravash Rishi listens to this, and then after the yajna is completed and the boons are there, the sarpas are saved, everyone goes back. Ugrashrava Rishi also goes back and he reaches Naimisharanya. There, this all history is very important because Mahabharata starts with that. Who told Mahabharata to whom? Ved Vyasji told to Ganeshi first. Then Vaishampayan Rishi told to this public gathering. So in Naimisharanya, Shaunak Rishi and his ashram is there, his students, they come to know that this Ugrashrava Rishi had attended this Sarpa Yajna. So they ask him, please tell us how this Yajna happened. And then he says, this Yajna happened and this boon was given. So Sarpa Yajna was stopped. But Vaishampayan Rishi shared this entire Mahabharat story. So he requests that please share this Mahabharat story to us. It is something very interesting to listen to. Great lineage of Kuru. So now Ugrashrava Rishi shares this Mahabharat story to Rishi Shaunak and his Shishyas. That is the narration what we have right now. We will see later on once we complete that how this original Mahabharat, what Ved Vyasji told to Ganeshi, whether how many interpolations would have happened in that we will see the history of Mahabharata also. Mahabharata is a history, but history of Mahabharata text. So this is where the Mahabharata gets completed in Hastinapur. And after Janmejaya, 500 years Kuru dynasty rules. Yada yada hi dharmasya. The dharma is established by Lord Krishna. 500 years Kuru dynasty rules. Such a great dynasty. 500 years. Names are given in Mahabharata after Janmejaya, which king came, after that which king came. And after 500 years, what is mentioned is that there is a huge flood which comes in Hastinapur in the Ganga river. Almost Hastinapur is gone inside the Ganga, and then the capital of Kuru dynasty shifts to Kausumbi, which is still there. It is, the name also is Kausumbi. It is in Uttar Pradesh near Yamuna river, because to any king, for him to establish any Rajya kingdom, he requires a river. So that is the completion of Mahabharata, of how the war happened because of Hastinapur. Pandavas and Kauravas fought and 47 lakhs people got killed, and how Kuru dynasty post-war ruled for 500 years. 500 years is a long time, establishing peace, prosperity, dharma. No big wars happened during that time. And how the capital got shifted from Hastinapur to Kausumbi. That is where the Mahabharata story of Hastinapur gets completed. So now we come back to the journeys of the Pandavas. So after crowning Parikshit as the king, the Pandavas give all the important messages to Parikshit, Subhadra, important Vajra, and then one day they decide that this is the day we will leave. So they give up all the kingly clothes, jewelry, wear simple Brahmin clothes, leave the kingdom, wealth, power. Not very easy to leave power. You can see today our ministers and, in the politics, to let go power, to let go wealth, to let go relationships, to let go such things what they have created. Now we have not created also anything, still there is attachment. And they begin their final journey in the Himalayas. From Hastinapur to Badrinath, we can track geopolitically where they went, how they went. And that journey is called as the Mahaprasthana. So, what is the learning for us? We also have to decide one day that when not the journey like them, what they did, but symbolically withdrawing from within. That is very important learning, because Mahabharat, as we learned, what is the purpose of learning Mahabharat, reading Mahabharat, is dharma, artha, kama. If this is complete, when there is fulfillment in this, completion in this, then one goes for the final fulfillment. Because in this there will be satisfaction, but complete fulfillment is not there. So symbolically it is called as the Swargarohan, because Swarga is a symbolic representation of the final destination. So they start walking from Delhi, that is Hastinapur. They go to Rishikesh, Haridwar. There, during the journey, very interestingly, one dog appears and starts walking with them. This is many people's experience. Even if you come to Kolad, or even if you go to any trek, this many people have shared that even from Kolad, when you go for some trek, some dog will come and accompany throughout the journey. So once dog accompanies them, joins them, and then the dog is there with them constantly. So they reach Haridwar, Rishikesh region, where first Draupadi drops out, means dies. Then they go a little higher region, in Garhwal region, Nakul, Sahdev, they drop away. So Pandavas, they do their last rites and then move on. They move on. They don't wait for long time and again come back to Hastinapur. They move on. Then they go to Uttarakhand, where, those who have gone to Badrinath, especially Badrinath and Kedarnath region, we can see from Uttarakhand lot of places where there are lot of temples. We personally had gone to a couple of temples where Pandavas, they say that Pandavas had come there in their last journey. There are a lot of Shivlingas there. Arjuna used to do puja there. So next is Arjun falls in Uttarakhand region. Then Bhima falls. And if you actually go to Badrinath, there is a Mana village. As I mentioned, Saraswati river flows and one has to cross the Saraswati river and go. It seems Bhima had put this big stone there to walk off, and then there is this door through which they passed and went ahead. So Arjun falls, Bhima also falls. Now only Yudhishthir and the dog remains, and they start walking. So maybe after Mana village, that door is there. After that, Yudhishthir would have walked alone. Symbolically also, we have to say that finally, as Gurudev says, we come alone and we go alone. As a traveler in the bus or train or aeroplane, we meet some people, and then when we get off our point, some people get off in one station, some people get off, and we get off at our own station when it comes. So there, after some days, when Yudhishthir is walking alone with the dog, Indra appears before him, and Indra says that you have passed all tests, you are invited to Swarga. Yudhishthir feels very happy. He thinks that all Pandavas also are there in Swarga. But Indra puts one more condition, that even this dog cannot come with you. You have to come alone. Yudhishthir says, waits for a moment, and he is a Dharmaraj. He says, no, this dog has followed us since Hastinapur almost. This dog also please allow the dog also to come to Swarga. Indra says, no, animals are not allowed in Swarga basically. There is no animal in Swarga. There are Apsaras, there are Gandharvas, and there is joy and pleasure. Who will look after dogs? Because looking after dog is a big job. So Yudhishthira refuses, very important, refuses that I will not come to Swarga. Even if you deny me Swarga, but now I cannot let go this dog who has faithfully followed me. And there suddenly the dog becomes his own father, Yamraj. So Yamraj appears before him, says, I was the dog, and this was your final test. I took your test in that four tests I took of you, and you have passed in all tests of righteousness. So now Yudhishthira is very happy. He's told that we will take you to Swarga. So Indra and Yama leaves and they leave one messenger, assistant, Swarga assistant who will guide. And then Yudhishthir slowly comes to the Swarga, and then he's shocked to see that he finds Duryodhana sitting there in glory. Then he asks, how can Duryodhana be here? Now this we have to listen carefully, because this is what people ask. Finally what? Finally after all the war, the Pandavas got Narka and then the Kauravas got the Swarga. But this is only one sentence. And then he asks that where are my brothers? Where is Draupadi? So the Indra's messenger comes and tells Yudhishthir that your brothers and Draupadi are in the hell. And he sees in the Swarga Duryodhan, Shakuni and all smiling and enjoying. So they say, come in the Swarga, you are invited, you have passed all tests. He says, no, I want to meet my brothers and Draupadi. So the messenger asks Indra says, okay, please take him, because he is the most righteous man. So now Yudhishthir is taken by the messenger, and then he starts walking, and there's a lot of description here of Swarga and how is Swarga and how is Naraka. He starts walking slowly, the Swarga fragrance and beauty and the light starts disappearing, and then he finds that he is going through a dark corridor. Lot of smells are coming of animal blood is oozing out from somewhere, and he starts hearing like lot of sounds where people are in pain, and then they are tortured. And he starts feeling the place is so terrible that he cannot walk. Such foul smell. And suddenly he starts hearing his own brothers and Draupadi's voice. And he wonders at what wrong his brothers and Draupadi did that they are in hell. And then he goes to Indra Bhagwan and says that, what is this? He says that we will tell you later on. Now you wanted to see your brothers and sisters. I will ask my messenger to take you to Swarga. He says, no way, I want to go to Swarga. I will remain with my brothers and Draupadi in hell only. I do not want Swarga without my brothers and sisters, and I want to know what is dharma, papa punya. So again Yama says that again you have passed one more test. First Yaksha, then dog, and now that you don't want to leave your brothers and Draupadi. And then there is a long dialogue about karma, heaven and hell. That why it happened. And that we will see next time. and then we will see what is a completion, which is a very beautiful completion. And I don't want to complete it today because after completion here, we will also see some history of Mahabharat and also learning from each character. What is our learning? Because we have learned the story and also about, you know, how this whole thing has come to us right now, which we are studying after 5,500 years. But still, the Swargarohan episode is incomplete, and the mystery of how Duryodhan is in Swarga and Pandavas are in Narka for a temporary time, temporary period of time, that we will solve. Because this question many people ask without knowing, without reading the entire Mahabharata. That is not the truth. The truth is this, what we will see in the next episode. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. So next episode we will complete this Mahabharata text. We will declare what will be our next project in the next class.
Let's stop recording and face.